Hey there, welcome to the Lumiere channel. Welcome to Current Energies. Excuse me, rude. Welcome to Current Energies. Here's pile 1, pile 2, pile 8. Oh. Pile 5. We're going to be looking at the current energies of something and of what you clicked on here for, or something that Spirit was guiding you to look into. If you would like a personal reading on your own current situation, I have some guidance on those on the website, lumiere.live. Otherwise, I will see you in your individual pile. Bye. Hey, pile 2. Let's look at the current energies that you've got going on in your dynamic. Wizard of Awareness. Okay, so there seems to be some type of space or observation that's taking place in the dynamic that you currently have. Things might be at a bit of a standstill. Things might be going a little bit slower than you would like or expect. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Wizard of Awareness is I'm getting taking a break. Someone's taking a break. The dynamic could be taking a break. I got really thirsty right before doing this. I don't know if that has something to do with you, but for me to think that, it might. There could be a desire to speak, a desire to say something, but not really knowing what to say, and maybe even being in preparation to express something. The Wizard of Awareness is largely a message of sitting back and holding your space, being observant, remaining neutral on the inside and on the outside. So in your current dynamic, these energies are, I think the both of you, or you and whomever is involved in this, are letting this be, watching things unfold without, that the guidance would be that, to let things unfold. That's not the guidance right now. I'm going to pull your guidance in the situation, but I think, yeah, there's just a lot of contemplation, a lot of thinking, maybe more quiet, more silence. There was a weird duct tape situation on my calendar, and it looks like white mold, it looks gross, there's growths, and I don't like that. It's so disgusting. I'm not sure if there's certain revelations that you're having, or that someone in this dynamic is having, now that they've sort of taken some space from the dynamic. Just kind of looking at things and being like, ugh, or huh. Let's see a little bit more. Tell me more about the current energies in this dynamic, please. Listening, exactly. This is just quiet. But I think listening is good here. This is good because I didn't mention that. This is a lot of distance, quiet, observing. But the nice thing about being aware, a great thing about being aware, is you get to listen. So this actually more so looks into the moldy thing that I was just talking about. Ugh, gross. I don't like mold. I can't. I need to move away from that. Listening is, like the Wizard of Awareness is saying, calming to getting awareness and just pulling back and listening to your inside and outside. My throat was super parched. I've been feeling dry. Wanted something to drink. God, when was the last time I drank water today? Actually. Listening to the desires the true desires and feeding those. So again, it just kind of feels like there may be some revelations that are happening and taking place in this dynamic. Possibly in the heart space and the root, did I say, yeah, oh my god, the orange space, like the root chakra, the heart chakra, like really listening to your heart. I feel like for some people there's some like blame and fault that's coming to the surface, but then for others there's also this, for that to happen, there's also some blame and stuff for on the inside and on the outside. And I think there's also somebody here who is looking for peace, and looking at these unsavory actions, or just looking at this connection, perhaps the both of you are in this current energy, and trying to understand, looking at it from a bird's eye view. Thank you. I do also think my hands are pretty. From a bird's eye view of looking at this situation, looking inward and outward. How many times can I say that? And really, like, also, like, with listening, it's definitely listening to yourself, and maybe even finally getting a moment far enough away from the other person to really hear what they were saying. I had somebody once, a friend of mine, this guy, who his girlfriend, his longtime girlfriend, left him in a very bad situation. It was bad. It was bad news bears, guys. It was real bad. The consequences, it was bad. Anyway, years later, after, the betrayal, the hurt have calmed down a little bit more in his heart, he was able to reflect and say, like, all she ever wanted, what she was really asking, was to spend time together. Like, she just wanted to spend time with me. And I kept saying, I'm going out with the guys, or like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, all she wanted was for us to be together, for us to spend time together. Like, she just wanted to be with me, and I couldn't do that, and I didn't do that, or something. Like, even in that great betrayal that happened with him in that situation, he was able to look at his side of the story, his part. Enough distance had been put in the situation for him to really look at it and go, oh wow, like, I can see how parts of this happened the way they did. So I think with this listening is some self-reflection on both sides, within the both of you, looking at this dynamic. Tell me one more thing about my God, if y'all ain't talking, y'all ain't together, y'all is quiet, and that's where things are. I'm not going to say that's where you need to be, but that's where things are. Like, for sure. There's a lot of, this is hermit dynamics. Now, this is oracle cards. I'm not pulling tarot on this one, I don't think. We're going back to the basics, folks. We're going back to old school loose Lumiere for this reading. We're using, this is my OG deck. This is not, the Enchanted Map is my OG deck. Not this exact deck. This deck was gifted to me in the channel last year for my birthday, and just for the channel. Was amazing. If you want to gift something to the channel as well, there's an Amazon link wish list in the comments. Feel free. If you want to gift something and it's not on there, send me the link. My email's in the description box, so I can add it to the list so you can get it for the channel. But yeah, there's just a lot of solitude here. There's a lot of solitude here. And if you like a personal reading on like what Spirit has to say about what you can focus on as it relates to this dynamic, please feel free to come through for a reading. I'd be very happy to provide that for you. Again, you can look in the description box for the email. It's lucilumiere.live to book your personal reading. To see like what work you can do, or what work you're being called to listen to and be aware of within yourself and as it relates to this dynamic. So what is the guidance though, as it relates to this dynamic for you specifically? Dry desert. Oof. And making a choice. It looks like You're avoiding making a choice. And here we have the field of dreams. I feel like I'm connecting with somebody who knows in their heart the decision they need to make for now and have been reluctant to make that decision. I will say that as of now, and I'm not actually sure if that's bad, because this is 30 and 31. I noticed that. And we have 13 here. So I think this is actually the guidance to be alone. If you've been wanting connection with this person, to reconnect, that's not right at this time. I know I stopped myself from saying in the beginning of like what the current energies were. I stopped myself from saying, and your guidance is to remain in solitude, to remain in this state. Excuse me, oh my God. But that's exactly it. Your guidance is there's no moving past this energy right now. Like, this energy is still here. It is still active, and there's no choice but to surrender to the current atmosphere of this dynamic. Okay. Dry desert in protection is one of the cards that when I see it, I just like, oh, like, no. Because it really just says like, nah, nobody's home. Go, like, no. It literally, the first line in the book is like, your inquiry is barren and can't give you anything right now. Like, when you think about barren, like, ain't no life there. Like, barren is such a shots fired just visual for me, and like word, it's barren, like, whoa. But it's true. If you've been feeling like, oh, maybe I need to reconnect with this person, and obviously this is a general reading, and like I was saying, I think people in this pile would benefit from a more personal reading, so feel free to come through for that, or find a reader that suits you best. But if I don't know what you've been feeling, if you've been feeling like, oh, maybe I should, or maybe they are, or whatever the case may be, this is telling me that the current energies are right. Not good or bad, but the current energies that you're experiencing of this distance, this quietness, this solitude, this contemplation, this stalemate, or this quietness between you and this person is right, in that it's part of it. Like, it that is where this is meant to be right now. There's no changing it or shifting it. This is where it's meant to be, and you're both meant to find the gift in this. For some of you, you are being guided to realize that this isn't the right person for you. This isn't the right place or circumstance for you. It could be for the moment, right? It could be for the moment, which for sure for the moment. As far as long term, I think some of you, especially with this listening here, you know that there's something that's not right about this person, and it's difficult if it's a person, right? And it's difficult for you to accept and like swallow that pill, have it be digested and pass through your system that this isn't the right person for you. For others of you, it's not the right time for it's not the right person, because the time is not even right for whatever that could be. It just means something better is coming. And it's almost like for some of these, I don't know, I really feel like there's no choice. Like, there is always a choice. Obviously, you can always choose to continue doing something that you've been doing, and, you know, whatever. But this is one of those non-choices where it's like, look, if you want something different, you're going to have to do something different. And here, it's almost like, yeah, if you want the best for yourself, it would be best for you to make a decision that leads you towards what you want to do. So if you're waiting for this person to come back around, or you want to say something to them, it's almost like you really listen to your highest good, like really listen to what it is that you want in this genre of dynamic, and don't abdicate and say, oh, this person isn't talking to me or whatever. Like, take ownership over the fact that you two are not acting towards them, and that's okay, and that maybe even their silence in the greater scheme of things is okay. But really also it's knowing that you are in a position of power and you're able to do what you need to do. And you can make a decision, and because you've made the decision in your full power as a sovereign being, you can always make a different decision because you're still a sovereign being, and you can always change your mind. You know, don't feel the dreams. Something beautiful is coming your way. You have other things that want to be born within you. And I think you've been working on your dreams. You've been working on what kind of a dynamic genre you want. Again, if this is love, which it very well might be, you've been thinking about the kind of love that you want, and you're planting seeds for that. And if that's with this person, then they will rise to the occasion to meet you there, as you will also rise to the occasion to be the person who you need to be to have that. Or you will find someone else who can meet you where you want to go. And either way you win, because you're getting the kind of relationship that you want with the kind of person that you want, right? So I wish you everything. Keep your letter and good luck, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Don't forget to come for a reading if that's what you'd like. Bye. Hey, number 5. Number 5, what are the current energies? Commitment and ride the wave. Interesting. So the current energies are, I really wanted to flip this like this. Well, but obviously it wants to be like that. And then we have coming apart in the reverse at the bottom of the deck, which is interesting. Commitment and ride the wave. Let's look at ride the wave first. Ride the wave is interesting in that it's almost like it talks about, it gives a message of like a fake out. Yeah. It's almost like a fake out. Like, there's two energies with ride the wave. There's an energy that's something looks like what you want. Like, oh, sweet, hell yeah, this wave is coming. I'm going to ride it. But what you don't see is that is not the type of wave you need to be riding. Like, that's not the wave for you, or you're not meant to play in that wave for the long haul. It's not for you. It's like a fake out. It's not I don't want to know. It's not a good wave. It's not a fun wave. It could be a dangerous wave, or a lackluster wave, something that could leave you a little bit banged up. But it's almost like the wave after is the wave that's for you. So this is almost like about practicing discernment. So that's weird. It's just, I don't like seeing that commitment is here and ride the wave is also here. I'm definitely going to pull another card, but but even with coming apart, coming forward in the reverse at the bottom of the deck, it's almost like it really talks about like a situation that's unraveling. And again, it's almost like this wave that has transformed into, as opposed to it being like a rogue wave, it's now this wave that's come to like crash a few things, expose a few things, move the sand off the beach, or move you back on the beach to see more, like just something about that, something to like unravel and reveal something. It also talks about like lingering too long in a place where you don't belong anymore, seduced by a temporary solution, and that's pretty much ride the wave in reverse. in a nutshell is what coming apart is. It's that rogue wave. It's like, it's something, eventually that this isn't for you, but you hold on to it. It's like those relationships that we hope it kind of looks like it a little bit maybe, but not really, but there's something about it that, but we're like, we're definitely not happy, but we hold on to it. I'm just describing a very specific relationship right now. We hold on to it because we're trying to like make it work, and we're doing this and that to make it work, and it's like, why are you trying to make it work? For whom? For what? In your body, in your honest self, and you don't even have to dig that deep, that this isn't making you happy. And you're not holding on to it because you don't want to be a quitter. You don't want, because relationships are serious. You should fight for them, and you should. But there's a difference between fighting for something that is mutual and real and does make you happy in your being, versus fighting for something because you don't know where your next meal is coming from, right? Like, you don't know when the next person who will like you will come along, the next person who will tolerate you will come along, the next person who will accept you. And so we hold on to a relationship for those reasons, as opposed to like the overwhelming good things about it that are worth fighting for over the uncomfortable or sad or unhappy or unfulfilling feelings. We hold on to it because we're scared of the other thing, as opposed to holding on to it because it's something that we do genuinely want. You see what I'm saying? So there's just something that's being exposed right now, perhaps between the both of you or just you. I just don't like that it's coming here with commitment, because commitment, is such like a positive energy. But I mean, this is just basically talking about a commitment that was made that pre-exists, that maybe shouldn't exist anymore. Or, right, because this isn't, I mean, even in a personal reading, I'd still say that, because you're sovereign and you get to choose what you want to do in your life. But a commitment that happened that maybe was good at one point, and it doesn't have to be bad, it's just for whatever reason is unfulfilling, and you know that, but you're not maybe just you, it could be both of you, right? There could be just some unfulfillingness. It's like, yeah, okay, we make each other, we have fun, it's all right, it's like a roommate situation or whatever, but you're like lovers. It like, with your roommates, sometimes you'll see them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you hang out with them, sometimes you don't. Maybe you have like a really good day in a week, you have a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. You're all in the kitchen cooking, and it's nice, it's fun, and you don't talk to them for a whole week. Like, okay, it's just, there's something unfulfilling. To me, that's unfulfilling in a romantic relationship. So, like, it's nice you had that moment. It's just, there's something, it's like, it's whack. Number 5. It's like, it could be better. And it's something that maybe both of you or someone in this dynamic thought that this was going to be something good. And maybe it did start off as something good. I'm not saying it's anything bad, but there's some things that are being shown to one or both of you, that this could be a good person, you could be a good person, they could be a good person. You do mesh well, you have some dynamics, you maybe shared family or moments or whatever the case may be, but it's just not right, and you know that. So what do you do with that information? So I'm not sure if, like, I don't know, it's very weird. It's a commitment, but I mean, commitment also asks you, it asks the question of like, make sure you know what you're committing to, right? Like, make sure you know what you're committing to, because it says here, the commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. At the very least, there's a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to, be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. So maybe someone is having an affair. I'm not going to... Oh, shit. I'm going to speak to different stories because different people are watching this. If you're having an affair because you've been feeling unfulfilled in your romantic relationship, that's not for you. Okay? That's not for you. That affair is not for you to be indulging in, or to leave something that may feel unfulfilling, but it may feel unfulfilling because you both stopped trying, right? Like, there, something like that. If there is a third party that you are, I'm talking to my viewer, I don't know about your other person, but if this is your other person, I would like to think that if they are having a third party, I would like to think that they are looking at in entertaining this new dynamic, because of how nice it is or whatever the perks they're getting. But I would like to think that it's making them think. I'm going to talk to you. Number 5, if you are zipping it and doing it outside of your committed relationship, I don't say this often. Stop. Because you're fucking it up. You're not just fucking up this like commitment with this person that you're with. You're fucking yourself up. That's really who I'm talking about here. If you are in a third party, or if you are indulging in another, romantic relationship with someone else, okay, it's fun, it's nice, it feels how it does to be desired, or to feel those giddy feelings again. This thing is showing you something about what is going on for you on the inside. It's a reflection of what is unmet for you. Good. Take those things and bring them to this commitment, and see how you can strengthen this commitment that you might have, that might be just needing some extra TLC. It may not need to be thrown away for some ass. And so for some people, it's not even ass, for a smile. You know what I mean? And I say that with complete love and a smile. This is not worth it. It is not worth it. But its worth does come in its reflection, that it is showing you in the form of what you are needing, what you are missing, and what you've been lacking. For some of you who are like, Luce, I'm scared. Like, I've hung in there. I've listened to this whole reading so far, and both of those dynamics are freaking me out. I don't want to break up with the person. What are you talking about? Like, I'm okay, I'm happy. What are you talking about? They're not what are you saying? Or, Luce, I'm not seeing anybody else. Are you saying they're seeing someone else? Like, Luce, no, Luce, please. A third scenario, Luce, please. For you, for that person who's in a commitment that feels good, that, sorry, I heard a noise I did not like. That's in a commitment. That's probably how you be feeling, me talking through those scenarios, and you're like, no, fast forward, say something different. If you're still watching, come through. If you're in a commitment, in a relationship, in a dynamic that's nice, it could be new. Go slow. If someone from your past comes and you're just starting something new, and this something new has helped you get over something from the past, be careful about that. Be careful about that. And don't fuck yourself over. Like, don't step on your own toes. Encouragement. So maybe someone made a mistake or some sort in this dynamic, and maybe people are wondering whether or not it's worth saving. Whether or not it's worth saving. I feel like you're getting a chance to sort of make a different decision here. Not make a different decision, but to make a decision that's going to, save a dynamic, or not mess yourself up by picking an opportunity that looks nice, but it's more so preparing you for like what's coming. Encouragement in reverse is just, ugh, when that message comes out, I'm always like, yikes. Don't tell me I made a mistake. You know what I mean? But don't be too self-reliant. Ask for help where you need to. If you have a partner, I don't know, try to be vulnerable with them and ask them for help. If they're gonna have an outburst, they're gonna have an outburst. You know, their emotions might run high, but I feel like if they are a partner worth their salt, they will come back and try to like work things through together. Yeah, don't become too discouraged if you've done something. If you've done something to, if someone, it doesn't have to be you, if someone in this dynamic has done something that, oh, okay, okay. So new scenario. If someone in this dynamic, right, it doesn't have to be you. I've been saying you, but if it was like the other person, if you two had a good connection and things were going well, and the other person done goofed, like they effed up and they made a mistake. Yet again, like that's the dynamic here. That's the like someone did something to a thing. What's the guidance? I was about to say what the guidance was, but I realized like I'm doing, I love spirit. I'm doing a whole, the way the card like flew through the air was just a daring young girl on a flying trapeze. I loved it. All girls he does please, and my love he has stolen away. That would totally messed up the lyrics on that. He floats through the air with the greatest of ease. The daring young man on a flying trapeze is something as graceful. Or girls he does please, and my love he has stolen away. So that's fun. We have Golden Palace and the Bone Collector in the reverse. Something is coming back around here. Something is coming back around, and it's something of good fortune because the Golden Palace is like, yay, in a way. The Golden Palace is more so like, it's not an advice card. It kind of is, but it's more like a, oh, this is coming. Money. We have wishing well here too. So if there was a second chance someone was wishing for here, it's here. For you, if you've been wishing for a second chance, it's here. Now, with the Bone Collector, she's here to collect them bones. And she talks about how the past is a way of repeating itself. Ride the Wave was like, this is a situation that if you don't take it, good, because it's preparing you for the situation that is going to be yours. If you've had a bunch of dynamics that have felt good, but they didn't work out, and you're like, God damn it, what am I doing wrong? They were all rogue waves. I'm sorry. They were all rogue waves. They were not the wave that you were meant to ride. Golden Palace, what did I tell you? Golden Palace is like a thing that's like, I'm here. It's like a gift. It's like, it's a golden fucking palace. I don't know how insulated this thing is. Like, does gold keep temperature? I don't know. Send me some. What am I saying? The Bone Collector, when she shows up in the reverse, she's like, sometimes the past repeats itself so that we can learn the situation over and over again. And it is truly, genuinely so frustrating when life does that. And it's happening again, right? There's a rogue wave coming your way. In this dynamic, there's something in this dynamic that you're having with somebody that's a rogue wave that is affecting you, perhaps your sense of commitment, perhaps your desire for commitment, maybe the both of you, or just you or them. I'm getting lost in the sauce here. But in this, the Bone Collector says, see yourself as a whole being and not one who's perpetually trying to heal an old wound. That, I never got that until I got it, which is most recently. Those words are so wise. I was like, excuse me, you want me to act as if I'm healed when these are subconscious wounds that I don't even know are happening? I can see the situation is happening over and over and over again, but I don't even know what in me is recreating this thing. Like, what is it for? I love that she says to see yourself as a whole being and not one who's perpetually trying to heal an old wound. So essentially, and she goes on to say, you'll repeat the past if you don't reclaim the things you believe were lost. Now, excuse me, oh my God. This is telling me something that I've recently learned lately, and I love this deck. This deck was my first ever deck. This deck and I fought so much. We're intimately enemies and friends, and I'm sure we slept together, so lovers. Not this exact deck, because this is a new version. My older version, she's thick. You can hear when I'm shuffling, like the plastic is rubbing on, like she's been used. Okay, she's swelling with love. But I'm always learning. Like, I see more things. We've been together for like 6 years now. And that line really hits home now. And it's a lesson that I want to give to you guys, a message that I want to give to you guys. It's been a really long reading. We repeat our cycles because we have unmet needs in us that when these situations arise, it's like subconsciously we were pulled towards people and experiences, just that instant attraction, because there's something in us that identifies that unmet need in us. So if you were a kid and nobody paid attention to you, you're going to attract somebody who's not going to pay attention to you, because that's that childhood wound that is looking for a situation that replicates that wounding in order to try and now give this situation the opportunity to give it what it didn't have in the past. I hope you got that. If you'd like a personal reading, please come through. We can definitely go into this more deeper and in a personal way for you and your personal growth. It'll be good for you. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And so when the bone collector says, you'll repeat the past if you don't reclaim the things you believe were lost, you have to be even conscious of the fact that you attract the people or the situations, the ones that feel so strong. You attract those things because they're tied so subconsciously to those unmet needs. And once you proclaim yourself as whole, once you believe yourself as whole, and once you reclaim what was lost and not an unmet in childhood or whatever, then you attract something different. Then you attract something that is wholer, something that is truer to what is right for you, or whatever that means in philosophy terms. But you don't get to know that until you know that. So I'm telling you this now. The fact that this is coming back, she says, the information you seek lies in your history. Familiarity in this case isn't an invitation to dance the old dance again. It's not for you to keep going back into the situation now that you know that this is an unmet desire. Something that I've been doing as I realize my unmet desires is identifying them first. First you name the beast under the bed, and then you can start Googling it to like help yourself in healing it. And so I've been doing a lot of that healing for myself personally. And you give yourself that medicine that you were missing. And the more you heal that wound, the more you put that salve on that, the more you attract different things, is essentially what I'm saying. This is a call to retreat and choose differently. So you really are being guided to whatever is happening in this dynamic or about to happen, this rogue wave. Don't take it. Don't engage. And if you do engage in it differently. I don't know, with a different energy. If you do what you did, you get what you got. And that's what she's saying. The Golden Palace here, to me, I actually have to look at the book for that one, because it's such a, like, what do you have? What's happening? It's about good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth, prosperity. So, like, there's something good that's coming, or that you're meant to focus on perhaps more, be committed to more. Something in your longevity, perhaps your career, your money, your sense of prosperity, and sometimes that self-worth that you need to feel isn't measured by like who you have or what you have in your life, but more so from what you are and how you're authentically living and how much love you're giving and all these things. So knowing your true value and like your needs and what those are better. I think you react better in situations when you know what you're up against. So, but yeah, I mean, Golden Palace looks like your guidance is to focus on like the good that is happening, whatever sense of commitment, or that you've been committed to, or and just commit further into those things that are making sense, as opposed to like the rogue random waves or moments that have come to be like, ooh, shiny thing, but it's like no substance. I wish you everything. If you'd like a personal reading, please feel free to come through. Thanks. Bye. Keep your light on. Good luck. Hey, number 8. Number 8. Number 8. What are the current energies in this dynamic? I've kind of lost the plot on this reading, to be honest with you. Bottom of the deck, dry desert. Row. Oh my god. Follow the leader. Making a choice. Awesome. Wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Hey. This looks interesting. Dry desert is a message about the desert. Like, you know, the actual desert. How there are animals in the desert that are strong because they live in the desert. Their skin is tougher. Their ability to go without water is better. Like, they're able to function in a system that makes them stronger and hardened. And so they can survive maybe a bit longer. But again, they can survive more so in that environment, really. Everybody's built for certain environments. Every creature is built for the environment that they're in. Out of those environments, it'd be tough. And so what does that have to do with this? This dynamic, what? That's a weird sentence about to come out of my mouth. This dynamic is built for this environment? What? Excuse me? Wow, magical map shifter and peaks of joy. Oh, this is not what I was expecting. But we'll see where the story goes. Number 8. This dynamic was built for this environment. If your dynamic is currently going through a bit of a rough patch, I don't know. I say I don't know as a way of like, it's another way of saying like, this dynamic is being shaped by the current energies. I don't know. It's kind of weird. If you and whoever in this dynamic are engaging with each other. Okay. All right, I guess. You could be engaging with each other after a dry spell. That dry spell was necessary. Just because it was necessary doesn't mean it didn't hurt. Just because it was necessary doesn't mean that it didn't suck. But there's something about it that was necessary. And this dynamic is meant to like withstand that in some way. I feel very uncomfortable saying that. I'm not used to saying that. Wide open, busted wide open, hey, making a choice and follow the leader. There's something here about someone being receptive and someone being someone being in yin energy and someone being in yang energy. So someone leading and someone following, someone leading and someone responding, someone giving and someone receiving. And perhaps both of you in this dynamic or whatever's going on in this current energy you're checking on, this situation, it's a call and response. It's a turn taking. You go, I go. You go, I go. You go, I go. You go, I go. And perhaps you might switch, right? Wasn't I doing this before the reading started? Like, perhaps you might switch, right? The one who is the leader might become more open and more receiving. The one who was in the yin energy, the receiver, might become more leadery and more direction oriented, more guiding, moving this thing forward. Ooh. but it's consciously. The energies of this dynamic are both of you consciously making these choices. The funny thing about this is I'm not sure if you're even together. Like for some of you, okay, yeah, you're like dancing this dance in, like you breathe the same air, right? AKA you're physically close. You can touch this person's face. You can lick their eyeball, all that stuff. But like for others of you, you're in different spaces. You're not even together. But what they're doing and what you're doing separately is still symbiotic. It's still something that's taking place within the same, let's say, ethereal space. I'm not going to say 5D because I don't actually know what that means. But like, what is the D? What is 5D? What is 7D? Like, I don't get it. I hear it and like I get it when people say it, but like I just also just don't understand what we're saying, so I'm not going to say it. Sometimes when my friends say some shit that I'm like, do you even know what that means? I'll ask, like, so what does that mean? And then they get flustered and I laugh because you don't know what the fuck you're using. But that's me sometimes too. I don't know what I'm saying. But it sounds right. It sounds fitting. I was gonna make a mistake earlier of a friend who's seeing like multiple people. And I lost track. I was like, oh, what? So you give code names to some people, right? Code names that like help you remember what they're from, like to who they are. And I almost said, I need more epitaphs. Like that's what you put on a gravestone. It's funny though, same word for the same kind of concept. I digress. You two might be functioning on two different planes. You're not within touch distance, you're far away distance. But working together energetically and making choices that the choices that you guys are making. What's 41? That's what I want to know. Oh, that's so funny. Unexpected visitors. Interesting. So, I don't know. For some of you, for those of you who are in no contact or no communication, which is no contact, no talking, no seeing each other, perhaps there's an event. Not sure if it's like just a cosmic event or an event that you two could go to that you might meet. Or one of you or both of you are thinking of contacting the other. And that's a choice that someone is needing to make or wondering about. Both of you thinking about each other. If you two are in contact, like you two are licking eyeballs and stuff, or like able to, this is the knock of a person, isn't it? You know, it's funny. I didn't tell you this, but number 41 is unexpected visitors. That's why. That's what's missing here. A visit from one or the other. An opportunity to visit that's either possibly known or unknown. I don't know. If you are in contact with this person, the current energies, are you two making a choice about this dynamic? And maybe for some of you, it's wondering whether you should have a baby. Who is watching this? Maybe it's about whether or not you should have a baby, or maybe like there is a pregnancy and you're wondering what to do about it. Yeah, that's a whole new thing. But let's look at what your guidance is here. The current energies, I think both of you are at various moments. This card stays coming out. I'm so kind of over it. Cause it's just, why are you here? I love it though, but like, bye. This is my OG deck. I think I told you that. And we fight a lot. And there's just, I digress. One of you in this dynamic is maybe like 75% leading and the other one is receiving in your own ways. I think you're both trying to create your own path by what others are saying. I feel like you're both in a situation where one of you more than the other at different points, or different energies are at different levels for each one of you at whatever point. But there's the ability, oh, lost it. You're following, you're able to take advice. You're looking for advice. You're wanting to take advice and move in the best way possible, right? So you're open, both of you. This is the general you. You're both open to finding a path that's going to work for the both of you, but individually, but you're also trying, or together in this dynamic, but you're also trying to make informed and conscious choices about the advice that's being given by people that know better or whatever. You're also trying to figure out like what would be best for you or the both of you. Your guidance here is Dragon's Lair and Golden Palace. This dynamic, honestly, there's something about it that, I don't know, I don't want to say it's meant to withstand the dry desert, but there's something about it that's built for this desert, or the desert is meant to build this dynamic, or the desert has built this dynamic. And both of you are showing up a little bit more open and a little bit more receptive to the other, and a little bit more okay with coming together to make decisions that will move this thing in the way that it needs to move for the benefit of the both of you, as opposed to just one. So that's nice. Yet again, for my no contact people, something similar. I think both, yeah, like you're both being prepped or have been prepped to hopefully work together in this dynamic should some type of decision come about to engage, whether you're going to engage and move this dynamic forward as friends, go your separate ways officially, or move into a higher dynamic as lovers, graduated lovers. Dragon's Lair and Golden Palace. If this is a dynamic where like you're fighting for each other by fighting for yourselves, right? Like you're growing on the inside, and that is undoubtedly going to grow your dynamic. First of all, do that. Like that's the piece here that I'm seeing. Grow yourself and it'll grow the dynamic. Grow the dynamic and use it also to grow yourself, right? Care for this dynamic, because this desert is tough. It's going to be tough, and like you will need each other. It's such an uncomfortable thing to say, but yeah, this dynamic looks like it's withstanding something that it needs to withstand. Dragon's Lair and Golden Palace. There's just something about this Golden Palace that is also very dangerous. This dynamic here that's so special, Golden Palace, wealth, prosperity, yay, good stuff. Versus Dragon's Lair, oh my god, dragons, scary, nasty. But it's one in the same home. Like dragons, don't they hoard gold? Aren't they notoriously known for hoarding gold and trinkets? So I think there's something about that, being able to allow this dynamic to breathe and go through what it needs to go through, but also being strong enough to enjoy the good about it, fight for the good, and tame the beasts within this dynamic that is meant to withstand the beasts. Maybe even live with the beasts, and the beasts can become protectors of the Golden Palace, as opposed to destructants of the Golden Palace being the relationship and the dynamic. Let's look a little bit more about what the Golden Palace y'alls. Y'all. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. Yeah. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating, like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship. Yeah. Knowing that you'll be changed forever. For sure. I think for this reading, I got like the magical map shifter at the top of the deck or something. That sort of helped me move through and understand that this dynamic is quite special and that it will have hard times, but those hard times don't necessarily mean that this dynamic is wrong. And that's really uncomfortable to say. A life fully lived isn't only lived in safety, for sure. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is a greater value in risk taken than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. So for some of you with that for some of you, you may have left a dynamic. Even if you're like, Luce, I like what you're saying, but I don't think I want no motherfucker back. Then shit, maybe you're meeting somebody new. Golden Palace here? Golden Palace portends good things to come. It really does. I'll have to read it to you because I blank out when I see a card that keeps showing up over and over again. Like, what is happening? It represents good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth, and prosperity. It may also indicate emotional fulfillment, as perhaps you're entering a time of happiness that's long overdue. Exactly, the dry desert. From that dragon slayer to the dry desert. This just looks like, turn taking. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's and it's just like being able to fight for that, being able to fight for the great, and be in alignment with what will be the best for the dynamic moving forward. So that's what I'm seeing here, my friend. If you like a personal reading, I think that might be helpful for you. So feel free to come through. And I wish you good luck. Keep your light on, good luck, and I'll see you next time. Number 8. The link to the personal readings is in the description box below. You can go to my website and then email me with the reading that you want, and we can customize something for you. Bye. Hey, part 1. Part 1, what are your current energies in this dynamic? Okay. The current dynamic in this dynamic, the current energies in this dynamic are thusly. Don't keep banging your head up against the wall. Like someone is banging their head up against the wall, trying to push a situation, an agenda, an outcome that just has no purchase here. Like you wouldn't want to plant, like you wouldn't want to plant a seed here in these current conditions. And if you may have done this before, right? You being the general you, not you number one just, but you and this person, you and this dynamic, you and this energy. In the current energies, it's like a general you. I'm seeing people who maybe have just been butting heads over something, trying to change or move a mountain that isn't a mountain. Maybe you cannot move that. You can chip away at it, but you cannot move that. We have storm fields in the protection at the bottom of the deck. At the top, we have magical map shifter in reverse. Oh no. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. Peaks. It's very weird that Peaks of Joy is here. Peaks of Joy is just weird that this is here, because the gravity of this situation just got really real when I saw the magical map shifter in reverse. This person, this dynamic, you and them and you, have really like kerfuffled each other. Like you really just messed each other up. They have messed you up, you have messed them up, and it doesn't even have to be by virtue of someone doing something. For sure, someone has done something, or someone's have done some things, but it's just by virtue of like existence, by virtue of this connection. Things have been mucked up in your lives, and that sucks. That really sucks. The bone collector's here saying, baby girl, baby boy. I'm gonna say baby girl because I say that the most, even when I'm talking to Poles. Baby girl, you do not have to keep doing this. You don't have to keep doing this. You just don't have to keep, you don't have to keep dancing this dance. Stop. Experiencing this dynamic over and over again, this wall, this whatever this is, like you don't have to. Proclaim yourself as whole, she says. She says try to find a way to meet that part of you that is craving this person for the both of you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that this person may not be for you, although that magical map shifter in reverse tells me a little something different in some ways. But it more so says, like, if you both change, and by change is like if you start, I don't know. You two are good for each other. I don't know how to say that. But like, you're not good for each other. Not at this time. The current energy between the two of you is not good for each other. This dynamic, the current energies in it are bringing about each of what you both want. At least you two being engaging with each other is bringing about the situations and the dynamics that you both don't want. It's creating the opposite of what you're desiring. There's a block between what you want and the good feelings that you do have with this person when you have those good feelings. Like, no. If you've been wallowing or feeling sad, oh my God, like, I was about to say stop. Do something that's going to make you happy. Go hang out with people that love you. Go hang out with people that, I'm sorry, this isn't the guidance. This isn't the guidance portion. I have to pull back on that one. That might be, but you both may be in a dynamic where perhaps you have realized that, like, we're not good for each other right now. Like, this is creating chaos that I just don't want. Chaos that doesn't feel good. My life is like in like loose shambles. I don't like it. I don't like it. Perhaps you've both figured that the effect of this dynamic is just no bueno. Right? That's a better story for me. You've already had that realization. Great. And you're both trying to find happiness for yourselves. And there's just something in me that wants to say, and once you do that, this dynamic might become better, because if you do reapproach each other in the future, if you're both doing this thing of trying to push yourself to be with people who are going to be more loving towards you, are going to be giving you what you actually need. Maybe spending time with somebody's pet so you're a pet, or maybe doing more activities that you've been wanting to do, taking better care of yourself, eating better, whatever, moving more. I don't know what your deal is. Those things are building you up brick by brick and putting you in the right vibrational energy to break the patterns of what's been fueling this dynamic, because it's a shit storm. It's a shit show. I don't like it. I don't like it for you. I don't like it for them. I don't like it for anyone. I don't like it for me. I don't like this. You don't need this. Stop. You stop. Stop it. You don't need to keep doing the same thing and getting the same thing. Stop it. The magical map shifter, which didn't pop up, but I think it relates here. If your heart aches because someone is breaking it, this discomfort will lead to a more authentic life. I am living proof of that, baby. Don't linger in the pain or the blame. The magical map shifter has alerted you to the illusion you clung to. Know that treasure lies elsewhere. Ugh. Let's get you your guidance. Because I don't want to be in this anymore. This is like visceral for me. Like, it's too, like, I know what this is. This is like your body starts malfunctioning because of the dynamic. It doesn't even have to be with this person. It's not even like maybe them. It's just like the dynamic with them. It's just so, it's this too much, hashtag. Like, what's the guidance here? What's the guidance for my person watching this? Moonlight, trusting your intuition, moving by intuition, perhaps getting a personal reading from a reader that you trust, a reader that you know well. Ooh. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. There is a lot. Look, I enjoy my own company. Do you? I enjoy my own company. Your guidance is to follow your intuition. Your guidance is to take some time away from this dynamic for sure. It's funny. It is funny. Your guidance is to separate yourself from this connection, and I think some of you have already done that. It's just definitely do that more. Like lean into that separation, because this is not working out. I think the more you pay attention to yourself, the more you look into your intuitive self, the more you take some time to really look at yourself and use this dynamic as a way to catalyze your inner healing, which sucks, but it is worth it when you use the pain that you've been through to heal. And everybody's been through so many different kinds of pain, but when we, the wound is where the light enters. And there's something about the more you start spending that personal, intuitive time with yourself. I was going to say it's not about self-isolating. It kind of is, because we do have actual solitude and one ring circus here, but we do also have one ring circus here, which says it's not about you isolating yourself from people. It's about you taking the time that you have when you're alone to actually be with yourself, not avoiding yourself. Listening to your intuition, you might see a greater perspective of why things aren't moving, why things keep happening between the two of you, or why things keep happening with you in a certain kind of way where you don't need to keep repeating the same story to heal. You can do that self-work. And this is something that I've been really personally focusing on. And I know it's been leaking into my readings because a lot of the self-work that I've been doing really just has been showing up in the readings. And even private readings, actually, which is astounding. Even like personal client work. It's been wild. But there's something about you doing that inner work. And if you want a reading on, like a personal reading on what inner work you need to do, what inner work is being called out for within you, please feel free to book a reading with me. lumiere.live. The link is in the description box below, or just email me and we'll figure out a custom reading for you to find out, like, to get you on the track of like what needs to be attended to, what in you is unmet, that is calling your attention, that is coming in the form of dynamics that are just volatile or just suck, right? Or leave your life and world or mental space in shambles or tatters. But yeah, moonlight, solitude. But one ring circus to me is not about you doing it alone. It's not exactly like it's I actually hate this card. Like I did it just like I don't like her. I don't like this. Like, oh, I see this card and I always hope I don't get it. I don't like it. But anyway, it's funny because one ring circus is, I don't know. For me, one ring circus is about, I don't know why it's about people. It's in the reverse. Whatever. The isolation that I'm picking up here isn't for you to like isolate yourself from people that love and care about you. Like, do what you need to do and be responsible about it. I don't think people ghosting and being like, oh hey, like I hate, like be better. Like for a month, like just, I don't know, be better, handle your business better. I don't know, maybe it's because I hold grudges, but like I'm not, anyway. I don't know if I hold grudges, but I heard that's what Libras do. Am I leaning into that? I don't know. What I'm saying is, number one, you are meant to, in this dynamic, be alone. Get out of it. It is not for you to engage. It is not for you to engage. It is not for you to engage in this dynamic. It is for you to put yourself in your own little corner, in your own little chair, where you can be whatever you want to be, and start really thinking about who you want to be, what kind of dynamics you want to have, what a good relationship, healthy relationship looks like to you, what you've been attracting, and try to see what is going on in you to attend to, like, and get help from spirit. Pray about it. This is not for you to start engaging with this person or this dynamic. It's definitely for you to engage and tune into yourself, your intuition, and feed your soul. It's about self-reliance. It's about moving forward and trusting that you can move forward. For some of you, I was going to say that you can change. I think for all of these cards to show up, there's somebody in this pile who doesn't think that they can shift their reality. They don't think that they can be the person they need to be in healthy dynamics, because it's just been maybe one after the other, or one that really just messed you up so badly that you're like, God, this is it for me. No, it is not for you. Okay? This is about you finding your way through this muck, and you finding a way over this mountain, which you will move over this mountain. I think this rock is floating. So you won't even have to engage in this dynamic in order to overcome what needs to be overcome in it. You can move forward. And you do need to have clear boundaries between you and this person, but also have clear boundaries between you and yourself. To me, when people talk about boundaries, I think a major point that they miss out is that boundaries are actually for you, not for the other people. It's for you to uphold those boundaries. Other people may break those boundaries, but they're not their boundaries. Why would they care? Right? Like, an intruder is not going to care about your, like, boundaries in your house. They're not going to care. A passerby isn't going to care about stepping on your grass or whatever. That's not their grass. That's your grass. You're going to care about your grass. They're not going to come water your lawn. They're not like, you have to do that. So this is about you getting good with your own boundaries and realizing which ones you actually need, because there's some boundaries that you don't need. They're arbitrary. They're not even important to you, and that's why they're so loosey-goosey. Some of them need to be flexible, right? Like, you just need to take some time to take the time to be with you and see how you can use the faults of this dynamic, or the hurts of this dynamic, even the joys of this dynamic, the roundabouts of this dynamic, the stoppation of this dynamic, use it to heal you. And Magic Prayer here says your prayer has been answered. So I don't know what prayer you've been asking for. Maybe you wanted this to stop. Maybe a part of you asked Spirit, God, to, like, make this dynamic stop. Like, please, if this person is for me, let him stick around. If it's not, take them away. And maybe they answered that prayer and showed you. Or if you've been asking for an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to be better, an opportunity to have something good in your world, your prayer is on its way, right? Like, the answer to your prayer is on its way. It just may not come in the way that, like, you think. When you know who you are, like I was saying earlier, when you have a healthier sense of you, where you start and where others end, you're able to enter into, like, better relationships with yourself and with people. You don't take certain things so personally, or you're able to just be like, you know what? No. Or, you know what? Yeah, I am going to speak up about this. You know, number one, this is difficult, but it really does look like you have been, there's no way with these 3 isolation cards, these 3 inner me cards, these 3 you cards, like, and a number 1. Like, this is always number 1 has been consistently about you. Like, every number, every tool I use has its own special energy, which is so fun for me to enjoy and indulge in. And number 1's energy is always about number 1. It's always about you. Like, when you pick number, not always, because sometimes it isn't, but lately number 1 has been like about number 1, the star player, which is you. This is about you. So your guidance here is to continue working with your intuition, continue working with the oracles, continue working with spirit, continue connecting to spirit, continue allowing your intuition to be flexed, and trusting your intuition to lead you into places that may not make sense. I mean, this is a girl from a circus on an elephant on a rock in the middle of the ocean, and you can see the moon. Like, where are we even going with this? Like, what is happening? Okay, that's the kind of places that intuition will be taking you. Places where you're like, so resist second guessing yourself. Pray, meditate. This is a good time for like oracle cards or other systems of divination, or even getting guidance, right? And remember that spirit is with you. And like, they really are. Magic prayer, whenever it shows up, it's one of those cards that I go, oh, thank God. I think it's one of the only cards in the deck. Yeah, where when it shows up, I do like get on my knees if I'm not on my knees already, and like say a thank you prayer, because essentially this says, yo, we've heard your prayer, we heard you, we've got you, it's in the works. It may not come in the form that you recognize or know, but it's coming. Something is coming. Something good this way comes. And this is awesome that this came up for you. And this is going to come for you the more you know yourself, the more you know the symbols of yourself. Just the more you know yourself, the more you're going to be able to see what Spirit's trying to show you. You know what I'm saying? So if you like a personal reading, my friend, please come through www.lumiere.live. The link is in the description box below. Or you can just email me and we can cobble a reading for you so that we get you sorted and like get you more guidance on what you specifically need to work on, what Spirit is asking you to not work on, but like in a negative way, but like what you specifically need to, like, are being called to focus on. For yourself, for your personal growth. So if you care about that, come through. But until then, keep your lid on, good luck, and I'll see you next time, okay?